was like, purple, purple. Jeez, why could I not for the life of me remember purple? You know what that is. Of course I did. I could have gave you the definition of stuff that I forget all the time. I need that one thing. And you can't remember the name Phillips. Not a flathead, but the one with the fork with the cross. You know, a Phillips. That's simple, but you can't think of Phillips for the life of you. And still to this day, that's my snapping my fingers or the as I'm pondering. I know what the heck it is. Let's hope I can actually remember the name. And you'll never quite really know because whatever is a scar there is like clearing the history on a computer. It won't ever read or hold memory again. It's scar tissue. So, and sadly, whatever was there is whatever, we'll call it sealed in that way, kind of thing. But for me, very much of what, there's lots of videos of anger and temperament and shortness, and I look back and say that people are very functioning, as well as I was, in the caveman fight or flight mode of, and they can't look farther than they can see, per se, as a acronym or that kind of thing. But they're very much functioning at that level, and that's where it comes from. And I was very much, I wasn't wanting to have a big long conversation with people and stuff, and I was very much, yeah, I need to do this and this, or whatever the scenario was. And if they said something back and I was like, yeah, that's not what I said, and in my head I'm going, are you deaf or dumb in the ear, and that kind of thing. And all they were probably doing is trying to make sure they understood it nice and clear, or they put a little twist with an extra thought in there, and then when I hear that, I'm like, no, that's not at all what I meant. So that it is what it is, and it's the frustrating part of it, that the driving, and for me, the crash of driving, and everybody's ailment will be different on where they hurt. I very much, I wanted to give kudos to, I wrote their names down, the brain recovery coach, hers, out of the hundreds and hundreds I watched, hers having a terrible time with winter. I've only done one winter, and it's knocking on the door already here in the Midwest. And I froze when I got out of that hospital in the summer and the cold started to set in. I injured somewhere up here the part that regulates body temperature. So often if you take my temperature, I'm like 97. And I love hot sunshiny days and everything. The best. I've always been that way, but now more than ever, that winter I had the heat turned to 76 and I still felt like I was freezing my butt off all along for the whole long winter. And I'm not already looking forward because I can feel certain things. At least I can observe it more. And since I hurt the right side tells the left side to move. I still have tremor, and in that, and that factor. But I'm not looking when the snow is on the ground. Part of my vision, my pupils, don't change as they used to, so I have a harder time and adjustment when it starts getting dark. That definitely takes me like 30 seconds to what I'm used to now. Then the other part is one change, they don't do as good as they used to, and then one's closer to the old one, so my pupils aren't quite the same size. And my whole life, one thing that rocked me waking up from the coma was they're predominantly green now. My whole life, my driver's license said brown eyes. You could see predominantly brown with the teeniest tiny little stencil of a green line in there if you got this far from a mirror. And the way my pupils stay small now and don't let that light in at night near like it used to, now I see predominantly green with the teeniest tiniest line of brown. So for a month, looking in the mirror was like I wasn't looking at myself. Little ticks like that. And then depending who you are, you don't want to talk to people about that kind of stuff. So those factors, they all play in there. Yeah. So I just wanted to get those out there, the parts of the temperament and stuff. And yeah, if they were an active, tough, independent person before, they are gonna come up with the what are you trying to tell me? That kind of demeanor fired back at you. Well, that I don't know. I got tired of hearing people say, "Oh, you're still here for a reason." And while you're going through that struggle, yeah, could you please tell me what that reason is? And so I know they were all trying to be kind and nice, and they were thankful or saying how lucky I was and everything. So that kind of thing. And I wholeheartedly, at the time when I woke up madder than a hornet from that coma, I was like, if I did not have my 3 daughters, I wouldn't have left a better place to be here. I'm only here for my daughters, kind of thing. Still very much feel that way. That kind of thing. I feel closer to God than ever as well. So I'm going to wrap it up there. And then if anybody finds parts helpful or wants to talk, I have only met in face-to-face, eye-to-eye, person-to-person, one other person with the TBI that can totally bink, bink, bink identify with these things. And slightly different, but we were like a 90% match. And then they had their certain category. Yeah, no, I never had that. And stuff, but there's a lot of understanding. So that part, I want to meet people with other stuff so I can be like, yes. And that brain recovery coach, she was great for the winter and everything. And then there's a brain line too that I watched a video where he cried, and I'm like, I have that. I can hide it and know it's coming and like take a deep breath and tell myself, stop thinking about that or you're gonna lose it. But also mine isn't just a sob and huffy puffy kind of cry. Mine is a softer, like trickle that way, more of a weep, but very much so, and to the things I absolutely love and care about. That part makes me sad still. So yeah, and it's because of my TBI. So I don't know if this helps anybody or same boat or been there, done that. I would appreciate more stuff, other videos to check out, as well as if you shot out ideas or said, how about this? Then, oh yeah, definitely. Yes, I remember that. And I think this is why kind of thing. But I wholeheartedly want to help people with this. So I am going to sign off, and I will post this video if you're seeing it. After that, I also have the video of my tube getting pulled through my stomach lining, through my muscle, connective tissue, and then out of my skin, and that thing was bigger than a quarter. So it wasn't that pleasant. And I grabbed his hand, and I was like, if that guy didn't get it, I don't know if I'll let him do it again. And he's like, hey, I got it. And I was like, thank God, because I wanted to whack you. Not whack death, but I was angered. And but I took a woo-saw. So that kind of thing. So yeah, I guess I want to get my feet wet in this area too. And so if this is an okay, acceptable video, I would totally relay or make a certain video of, yes, I had that. Let me tell that story kind of thing. So I hope you're doing well, or your person, or they could be laying there in a coma or in a hospital bed with the head injury, not near as cognitive as they've ever been. And so you're sitting there doing your own research. So mine is a combination of what I've been through and what I'm still experiencing and have to go through. And yeah, it's not pretty and not fun. So I just want to help. Have a good one. Checking out.